All right, everybody, I decided I was gonna try something a little bit fun. I'm actually gonna make two different versions of the peanut butter cookies. One is gonna be with chocolate chips. One is gonna be dipped in chocolate, because why not? It's the holiday season. You wanna show up with something fun and different, so I'm gonna show you how to do that. First things first, we need some peanut butter. I personally love to use a creamy, natural peanut butter in my peanut butter recipes because I don't like all the additives like brands like Skippy or Jif have. Just peanuts and salt is the way to go. We've got some peanut butter over here too. Now you might be asking yourself, why aren't you just doubling the recipe and putting it in one bowl and then dividing the batter in half? Let me tell you, because we tried it, it didn't work. So this is a lesson that not all recipes can be doubled, and that just depends on the liquid amount and the things that are going in the recipe itself. So just know that. Next up, brown sugar. Yum. I love to use a light brown sugar in this recipe, but dark brown sugar also works. Then we've got an egg and an egg yolk. Now I use the egg yolk in this recipe because it actually adds a nice amount of fat and richness to the cookies. And that's what's gonna help them to stay doughy and chewy in the middle. Because fat equals more flavor, more moisture. That's what we want in these. All my secrets to a very good peanut butter cookie, and that is one of them. I feel like I'm on a roll here. I'm rolling like a little bit of this and a little bit of that. We've got vanilla extract in here. Little tip, if you're ever measuring vanilla, which I always say you should do so from the heart, but if you wanna be a little more accurate, I always use the capful, and that's about a teaspoon. Second secret to making these the best peanut butter cookies of all time is adding a little bit of honey. Now this is gonna help to bring out that peanut butter cookie flavor, but also it's gonna just pair so perfectly. I love the combination of honey and peanut butter. It helps to keep the cookies soft on the inside. It's my secret for soft peanut butter cookies. Trust. We must always spray whatever you're using to measure out your honey with a little nonstick cooking spray. This is gonna prevent the honey from sticking. I have a tip on that on my YouTube shorts if you want to check it out. It's not groundbreaking, but whoop, slid right out of there. I don't know. Oh, can't forget our brown butter. First, we're gonna get started and go brown some butter. Browning your butter is a very simple process. Basically, you're melting the butter on the stovetop. It's going to crackle and then it'll foam, and eventually it will turn a nice golden amber color. If you want a more in-depth tutorial, you can watch my YouTube short on how to brown butter. This looks really good. Add our brown butter in. Make sure that this has cooled to room temperature before you're adding it in. Quick tip is that you could put it in a bowl and then stick it in your freezer for like 5-ish minutes. I know it's not traditional to add brown butter to your cookie recipes, but I love it in just about anything. If you know Ambitious Kitchen, you know that your girl loves a brown butter. So it went in my peanut butter cookies and it made them that much better. Peanut butter, caramel flavor, chocolate chips, it's the best. The best. We're ready to whisk it. We're ready to whisk it. I like it. I'm gonna whisk this up until it's nice and well combined and smooth and looks like caramel. Now, one of the reasons I love this recipe for the holiday season is that you can whip it up in no time at all. The hardest part is really browning the butter, and that only takes about 10 minutes. So I just love this when you have to go to a holiday party. You didn't prep anything, but you're like, I wanna show up and I wanna show up with a really good cookie. This is your really good cookie. Nobody makes a good peanut butter cookie. But you know those peanut butter cookies that are just crumbly and dry and you feel like they've been sitting out for a while. These are not those. It is time to add our dry ingredients in. So we're using regular all-purpose flour here. As always, if you're not using a scale, what I want you to do is fluff up your flour. You're gonna scoop it and then you're gonna level it off with the back of a butter knife. Whoops, whoopsie doodles. And then we're just adding a little extra flour in each of these. I found that when I was first making this recipe, I had to add a little extra flour to really have it come together. So 2 tablespoons extra was perfect. Half a teaspoon, dust it over, and some salt, a little flavor. Salt and peanuts and honey, oh my God, come on, best combo ever. All right. I'm gonna mix this until it's combined and a dough starts to form. Oh yeah.
It's so interesting.
That's what I want. Perfect. In this one, I'm gonna add some chocolate chips. I'm using dark chocolate chips today, but honestly, a milk chocolate chip would be really delicious in these, or you could use chocolate chunks. And the other one, like I said, we're gonna dip in melted chocolate and see how it turns out. Very excited about that one. Just fold in your chocolate chips. Wow. It's so good. Of course, if you are somebody who does not like chocolate, you could completely leave it out of this recipe and bake them as is, but I'm a chocolate lover, so they're going in. We're gonna clear some space, and then we're gonna roll these cookies in a little bit of sugar and get our bacon. We're ready to roll these into balls. So I'm using a large cookie scoop because these are bakery style peanut butter cookies. If you don't have a large cookie scoop, you could use 1/4 cup and just measure out that because that is how much dough we're using. It's a big hunk of love. I'm into it. I like to roll my cookies in sugar. Also, what makes them a bakery style peanut butter cookie? They have a nice, beautiful, crunchy coating on the outside. You bite into them, you get that crisp coating, a doughy center. It's amazing. These are big. These are fat, they're cute. If you're making these for a holiday party and you're like, well, I wanna make like 24 cookies or whatever, you could use a smaller cookie scoop. That's totally fine. The baking time will just change, but that is noted in the blog post in the recipe itself. Now, even though this is a large baking sheet, I really can only fit 6 cookies because you wanna keep them pretty far apart so that they don't run into each other when they bake. Make them cute. And then we're gonna add some chocolate chips on top, just to make them a little beautiful. If you end up using chocolate chunks, sometimes what can happen is that the chocolate will melt and kind of puddle all over. So I like to use chocolate chips for these little cuties. Now, naturally, the dough will start to fall to the sides once you put the chocolate chips on, but that's totally fine. You could just like make them a cute little ball again if you really want. All right, set these aside. We're making our chipless peanut butter cookies that we're gonna be dipping in some chocolate later. Which, like, frankly, kind of reminds me of those fudge stripe cookies. You remember those? Well, delicious, and that's kind of what reminds me of these. You know what also would be really fun? Dipping them in some cinnamon sugar. A little snickerdoodle action for the holidays. Peanut butter snickerdoodles, anyone? So now we're at 3 different ways to make the cookies. These are going in the oven. I think it's about 10 to 12 minutes, maybe longer. Probably longer because they're a little bigger. You'll have to read the recipe, but we're gonna bake them up. Cookies are done baking. They came out of the oven quite a while ago, but I like to let them finish cooling on the baking sheet to make sure that they solidify and they're nice and perfect. Now, quick tip for you. When you pull your cookies out of the oven, they should be nice and golden brown on the edges. You really wanna make sure that they're nice and golden brown on the edges, and they'll be perfectly cooked like this. So look for that. You just want a light golden brown. Don't let them go too long or they won't be nice and doughy and chewy in the middle, which is what we want. They look gorgeous though. And we've also got these beauties, the chipless peanut butter cookies, which are so gorgeous, and I'm excited to dip them in a little chocolate. So I'm gonna start by inverting my cookies so they're upside down. These are the chipless ones, and I'm gonna spoon a few tablespoons of chocolate on the bottom and just spread it out. This is probably about a tablespoon of chocolate that I've added on the bottom. And for my chocolate mixture, it's a cup of chocolate chips, and then it's about 2 teaspoons of coconut oil, and then you just melt that in the microwave in 30-second increments until it's nice and smooth and melted, stirring in between. That's beautiful. Something else that I wanna try really quickly, just because I have you here, is a little, I don't know, fudge stripe peanut butter cookie situation. So I have some leftover chocolate, and I'm just gonna drizzle this over the cookies. Well, maybe just some of the cookies. See how it looks. What? That's so cute. That is so cute. Oh my God. Cute.
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 Cuta.
Cuta. Cutesies. I'm gonna plate these ones up because they look so pretty. Imagine walking into a party with these big, glorious, bakery-style peanut butter cookies that look like this. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but if these don't put you in a good mood, I don't know what will. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Wow. Soft in the middle, crispy on the edges. What more could you want? You gotta make these. Truly the most perfect peanut butter cookie in the entire world. Here they are.
Here they are.
I'm very excited about these. They're not quite set enough, but decent enough. These will probably take about 10 to 15 minutes in the fridge, but you can pop them in the freezer and they'll be a little bit quicker. So, I'm gonna pull these up from the parchment paper. Oh my God. Look at that. That's magic. That's gorgeous.
All right, here it is.
Very-
Oh, the crunch with the soul. It's delicious.
It's incredible.
It's good. Wow. We're going for it. More good mood food for you. Okay. I also feel like salting the bottom would be delicious. Whoa. Really, really good. Highly recommend. Such a fun way to switch things up. Okay. That's it. We'll see you next week for another episode. Bye.